Hey. Welcome to the Skinergy Squad podcast with your captain, Kristen Heath, and let's not forget, head cheerleader, Cindy Grossman. Let's go. Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Welcome back.
Happy Monday.
You took,
Hello,
hi.
Tracy.
You took a little
Thanks,
trip.
everybody. Yes, thanks, everybody, for joining us in at 8:05 today instead of 8 o'clock. We just switched it up on you guys. But as you'll come to find out, I just walked off a plane into the studio. But anyways, how was your weekend? Tell us.
Mine was good. Not too exciting. Took a ride to Orlando this weekend, but disappointed. Couldn't get into my favorite restaurant, but it's okay. Did other things. Enjoyed.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, and in Orlando, we like in Lake Nona, there's a place called Bosphorus. It's very good. Yeah.
Nice.
Turkish food. Yeah.
Sounds tasty.
So we opted for Cocoa Beach. I mean, it was okay. It's called Pita Paradise, I think. And believe it or not, they have a belly dancer. So that was interesting.
Did you eat pita bread and hummus?
Absolutely. You know it.
I had hummus this weekend too.
Oh, you did? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it Amish hummus?
Yeah. So I just got back. Actually, I was in the state of Pennsylvania this weekend. Literally got in the house within the hour. And so, but it was a lot of fun. I put a little, I'm always about showing you guys. So this little picture of baby Sebastian. And that's my dad, as some of you may know from the podcast. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really just about like the kids, and he got to play with his cousins, and they have so many toys, and he loves that. And we went to a dairy farm. And let me tell you, we saw a little. Oh, if I would have had more time, I would have inserted a lot more pictures. But we went to a dairy farm, and they had cows that were literally 1 day old. Calves, right? Calves. 1 day old. It was so cute. All the way up to we saw them, and then we saw the big ones, and they were they moved. Like when they moved, it was so loud. And then I kind of felt guilty because then you go inside and you get ice cream straight from the source, but it was really good. And then before that we went to a petting zoo, and believe it or not, I guess it would be niece, she got bit by a horse.
Oh no.
It was not funny. Yeah, it was crazy. They had these mini pony. It wasn't a full-grown horse. It was a mini pony. But I mean, seriously, there's still a mini pony. That's
And it's at a petting zoo. They need to make sure they're not biting.
Yeah, literally, I think I wasn't exactly there after the whole thing, but it was like an Amish farm, and they came and put some stuff on her arm, but it was really bruised the next day. Like we're talking a 3-year-old. And they said they were just kind of trying out that pony. I don't know if it was new, but they immediately took it out.
They need to be trying it out the weekend you were there. Let me tell you, that's crazy.
So, and I put a cute, Sebastian.
Going with his diaper sticking out.
But yeah, traveling with a baby is, let me tell you, different.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jen said, I guess the pony failed the test.
Oh
yeah, we were a little nervous that the Amish were going to be having pony stew, but
that was not good.
No,
not good.
But I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I love hanging out with family. So
nice. Looked like a nice time. And it looked like it wasn't too cold.
No, Friday was cold. Saturday was, colder than Florida. And then Sunday we woke up to a little bit of rain. and then it warmed up and it was like a beautiful day and warm. Today was beautiful and warm. So,
Nice. Great. Maybe
yeah.
spring is finally coming around for the
Yeah.
north.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me tell you. They live in Amish town, okay? Like the farmlands are like that's all it is. And the smell of manure. And you
They're
can see
preparing.
like yeah, they're preparing and you can look at the fields and see like that all dark from the and like sometimes we like drove by and they're on there like with the horse and the tractor and
Yeah.
you see the poop fly. Smells
Oh,
so bad. And like of course we were there and it was a beautiful day and we had the windows open. By today when I was leaving, I was like, I don't know if the wind changed direction or if I'm getting used to the smell, but
oh, maybe you were getting used to it.
thanks. Thanks. But Lancaster
Poops.
is nice.
I used to go to Lancaster as a child every single year, sometimes twice a year. I
Really?
loved it. Yes,
Where
absolutely.
would
It
you
was my favorite
stay?
place. Oh, there's really nice hotels. Definitely. The best restaurants. We
We went to a place, the Bread Peddler is what it was called. Lunch.
what about Good and Plenty? You never heard of Good and Plenty or Plain and Fancy? You sit like with all strangers in these long, long tables and chairs, and then they just, start feeding you the fried chicken and the noodles with the butter. Oh, dying to go
No.
back. I hope I'm going to go back. I don't believe my husband has ever been, or like he
Okay,
tends
well,
to say, being.
can we plan a trip so I can like be there as well?
Sure,
I try to
definitely.
go once or twice a year. So,
Yeah,
well, that sounds like fun.
for sure.
So, I think um I'm glad to be back. I got a full week of work to this week, so I'm
Good, busy.
excited. What would you say is like a dream vacation of yours? I know you said you love Lancaster, but do
That's
you
not
have
a
a
dream. I have one dream destination, and unfortunately, it looks like it's going to have to be put on hold. The Mediterranean. Mediterranean cruise, maybe stop at different islands, Capri, Mykonos, different places.
why
Very
when you
exotic.
say it, do you open or close your eyes like this?
I'm dreaming it. I'm putting it out there, like you always tell me,
Oh,
manifest it.
George said family style.
Family
Oh, I
style.
love
Oh,
family
that's
style eating.
right. That's how it is in Good and Plenty. Oh, Tracy Savage would love it.
Well,
She
that sounds like
loves
a
it.
fun vacation. I think that I love cruising, so
Yeah. But a
that sounds
different,
fun.
island, exotic, the water. That's really one thing on my bucket list for sure. For sure. What about you?
Dream vacation. It's so different traveling with a kid now. It's kind of hard to answer that, but I don't know. I've traveled a lot of
Well, just
places.
maybe you have somebody wonderful
Okay,
who
I
will
guess
watch him for a
I've
week.
always wanted to go to Australia,
Okay,
but I can't really tell you why. I just always as a young, it like was fascinating to me. So, maybe Australia, but like as an adult, I think Europe again would be fun.
for sure.
I think Greece is interesting. Italy would be nice.
I
All
loved
over the
Italy.
place.
Love Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy, do you swim in the ocean?
Yes, absolutely. And when Kristen mentioned Australia, the barrier reef, I'm just waiting to scuba dive in that area. It's supposed
Some
to be
people
one
may
of.
not know that you've scuba dived.
Yes, I'm a scuba diver. Yeah, I've been to a few exotic places in my time scuba diving. Yes.
You would come
Yeah.
to Australia?
Yeah, the Great Barrier Reef is supposed to be one of the top scuba destinations. So I would love to do that. Sure.
Definitely. Would you jump off like, when you see like off the big boats, like a
Oh
yacht?
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm down with it.
Really?
Down with it. Sure. I did it.
Okay.
I did it off of a small island off of Manila in the Philippines. Yeah, it was great. I saw things I'll probably never ever see again in my whole life. And that was
Ha-
under the water, not in the little town that I stayed in. That was in things I saw there too. I'll probably never want to see again.
Definitely. Third world countries.
Oh,
You definitely they
crazy.
have a lot of them have a lot of beautiful parts, but then some have,
No. I
yeah.
mean, if you're focused that you're going for one reason, stay focused on that one reason and don't, look around. I had
Have
mango for breakfast. I had mango for lunch. I had mango for dinner. I had mango for dessert. I had mango snack.
you
It
probably
was mango
tasted like a
season.
mango when you came
Yeah,
back.
probably. Probably.
Have you been on a vacation that you would consider dream vacation already?
Uh, well, if I didn't say every vacation with my wonderful husband wasn't a dream come true, he'd probably be upset with me. But we've had some good time. I mean, our honeymoon that we ended up spending with 50 of our closest friends and my parents, that was an experience. We were in Israel right after we got married. That was a beautiful
Did
trip.
you just say
Yeah.
50 of your closest friends or 50 strangers?
Well, technically they were strangers. Yes. Helena loves good and plenty. There you go.
Is it only in Lancaster? I cannot imagine this many
Yes,
people have
it's
been
one
there.
restaurant. Yeah, well, when you live in New York, it's about a 3-hour trip to go to Lancaster. So it's fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting.
Where are some interesting places you've gone? Because you've traveled quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, I've been to Europe and I've been to China would be kind of interesting. When you were talking
Yeah.
about Manila, it made me think of that because you would see like we'd be driving. We stayed in a beautiful like hotel in Beijing. That was
Mm,
very nice, but it's like the moment you walked out, I was so fascinated. I remember being in the hotel and looking out the window and you would just see bikes and bikes and like by the thousands, okay? And like you're driving your car like this is your car. The bikes and people are here, like it's surrounding you. It was like as a young person, I was like, holy shimolies. It was intense.
yeah.
And then the poverty was just I went the before they were preparing for the Olympics because I remember they were like areas were getting cleaner and things of that nature. But
Mm.
just like we would walk to like a restaurant and like you said, the food it's not like Chinese food here. And I don't know, have you been to China?
Funny story. I went to Hong Kong and Thailand. And when I was in Hong Kong and I wanted to take the train to China, I was thrown off the train and brought back.
Only you. But I was interested that a lot of things were also most things were served family style as well, like on a lazy Susan type situation.
Oh, they
So
have those in Chinatown in New York. We'll have to go. Peking Duck House.
you're a mess. Um What else? That was fun. I got to travel so much when I was young that I
That's
don't,
great.
you don't appreciate it the same, which is why like I have so many places I want to take my son, but I want to wait till he
Oh, of
understands.
course.
And like not that
Yes.
I'm not going to go places with him now. I mean, he took his first flight at 4 weeks old, basically. So,
Wow.
yeah, in the midst of COVID.
Oh boy.
I know. But anyways, so and not that I'm not take him places, but I want him to really understand. And like I said, like I went to so many places and you just don't appreciate it as much. We went on cruises like every year for years.
Yes.
And I got to see so many islands and like my favorite. What's your favorite island? Mine is St. Thomas. I love St.
Oh,
Thomas.
I love St. Thomas too. It's still not, so touristy. It's still kind
Mhm.
of quiet. Yeah, I do like St. Thomas too. It's
Mhm.
beautiful.
And not that there aren't like there's not that there aren't people, but you always have to be mindful when you're traveling, no matter where you're going, for like security purposes and things like that. But all of the people I've met when I've gone on like to the islands, they're always so funny and so kind and like love to show you their culture and all that. So I really like that environment. But again, I was so young. So as an adult, I have a few places I want to check off on my list, and I love traveling. Now with a child, it's definitely a different story, but we're making it work.
Right. It's
Do you
challenging, of
do you know
course.
what a blowout is, Cindy?
Yes.
Today on our lovely trip,
Oh.
we had two on the airplane.
Oh.
And yeah, we went through a bunch of bad weather, and the turbulence was so scary
Maybe that's
that
why he had a blowout.
yeah, maybe the pressure just like pressured it out of
Or
him.
he was scared and he pooped his
No,
pants.
because the first one was before we even, like, took off, which
Oh.
was the worst because it was like they finally said, "Okay, the door is closing," and then, like,
Oh.
I could start to smell it, like, even with my mask on, I'm like, "Oh gosh," and, like, we have to taxi out, they have to do this stupid safety thing, then we have to get up to altitude, and then they let you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the weather was bad, so, like, we were going like, started the whole taxi and the whole what is it, safety thing, and I'm like, I can't, because the thing is I know it was like coming up his back and I could
Oh.
see it, so like I didn't want him to sit it. Oh, so the poor woman next to me, I bought him his own ticket, right? So it was my seat on the aisle, his was in the middle, and this lady she had, look, I have a neck pillow, she had her neck pillow and she's like this and her mask on. And her eyes were closed the whole time, and at the end, I told her, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't even notice." And I'm like, "Lady, thanks for being so kind." Luckily, both ways, there and back, I've had really kind people sitting
Oh, that's
with
good.
Sebastian and me that like kids. This poor guy was sitting with us on the flight there, and he kept putting a wipe like under his butt, like trying to push it in the chair. You're not sleeping if you're sitting in the aisle with me and Sebastian. Because the thing is kids, if I tell him no, take the wipe away, what's he gonna do? Scream. If I like
Of
move his hand,
course.
so I just have to like, distract and say different things. Why? Tracy, why what? You have to reiterate. Remember when we went to Puerto Rico and we took the jet to St. Thomas?
Yes, I do. That was a good time. Yes. That was a lot of fun.
Do you want to elaborate?
Well, believe it or not, my grandmother lived in Puerto Rico. She lived there, oh, I don't know,
What part of Puerto Rico?
30, 40. She had a house in Rio Piedras and she had a, no, she had a condo in Rio Piedras and she had a house in another little town in Puerto Rico. And she was there probably, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 years. She was there for a long time. And then she got tired of that and she decided she wanted to move to Florida. So then she moved to Florida. But yeah, I would go visit her quite often. It was fun. It
And then
was,
you
you
took a
know,
jet to St. Thomas. Was it like a
yeah.
private one?
I don't know. Helena seems to remember a lot more than I do, but yeah, it was. I don't think it was a jet. I think it was one of those. Those propeller planes that you kind of hold your breath the whole time you're in
Oh my
there. But it was quick. It was a very quick flight, but it was nice. It was fun. Yeah,
I
it was
don't
a
remember.
lot of
Oh, we were
fun.
talking about traveling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places, but traveling, and it's so much stuff. Like I never realized, like, because you always have to prepare for these things. So it's like
Yes.
just a lot of extra stuff, and
A lot of extra stuff. I'm
definitely.
curious to know what some of the listeners, what their dream vacation is. I'd love to hear
Oh,
the different spots.
yeah, that would be nice to know for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm interested because what one person loves, like some people, they love to be on a beach. We live in Florida, so I'm not like as you could see, Miss Pale here, I'm not a beach type person. I don't go to the beach. I rather maybe go, something a little bit more exotic, interesting. But
Not
now
that the
with,
beach couldn't be interesting. I'm
well,
definitely more of a city person, that's for sure.
right, city sights, yeah.
Oh, you took a helicopter. That's nice. Just jumping on helicopters.
It was definitely not a helicopter. I would have remembered that. It was a
Did you
propeller
jump
plane.
out? Did you jump out of the helicopter
No.
onto the island of
Oh
St. Thomas?
yeah, and I went right in the water. Yeah, exactly. That would have been an experience, that's for sure.
For
Too
sure.
funny. Yeah.
So
But
for you,
now you can't go. I feel like you can't go to Europe because of what's happening in other
what do you
parts
mean?
of the area. Well, with the
Oh, yeah.
war, you never know.
Is it really a declared a war?
It's declared a war. Yes, people are dying. Innocent people are dying, and
Did you
it's
see
a
that they
crazy
had
situation.
that moms in Poland are like getting strollers and putting supplies in them and leaving them at the train station for when the moms come over with their babies?
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, we have never experienced anything like that, nor do I ever want to know from it. But my mother and father tell me that during their time, even when in grade school, they would have these drills where they'd have to go onto the desks I mean, we had fire drills. We went outside in case of a fire. We never had war zone drills that we'd have to prepare for something like that. It's crazy.
In Florida, we
It's
had
crazy.
hurricane drills as well.
Oh, right.
And then
Interesting.
there's I think tornado, they go under their desks too.
Yeah, I
So
would
what
think
were their
so.
drills for back then?
I think it was also war times. Yeah, that they were afraid the nuclear was coming again. Yeah, scary.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's intense. So do you
it
have
is.
any vacations planned?
I think we're thinking maybe just a quick little 3-day cruise right here from Port Canaveral. Nothing too
Do you
serious.
get off in the Bahamas?
I probably won't get off in the Bahamas unless I can go to the Atlantis for the day just to kind of walk around, go shopping.
Actually, of all the times I've been to the Bahamas, I've never been to the Atlantis.
Oh, it's nice. It's
Yeah.
nice.
We went on a cruise and the boat stopped and we had a balcony, and the way that our balcony was, we could see.
Oh, wow. Uh-oh. Kristen. Oh, you're
Hello.
back. Yeah. Woo. Hey.
What if I'd exit? Oh, last week, guys, for those that were watching the show, I'm really sorry for the way that it ended. Definitely technical difficulties on my end. So
That was a great
appreciate that.
show.
But yeah,
Shout out to Joel and Chris. Yeah, that was a
yeah,
good show.
definitely.
They
I've
answered a lot of
never,
questions.
have you sold your house yet? Speaking of last week's.
No, we didn't.
Mm,
No,
no, you haven't sold it yet. Okay.
no, not yet.
Definitely. It will happen in its time.
Absolutely.
Have you had
That's
any
for sure.
bad stories of vacations?
Um, it started out great, but unfortunately, towards the last day, it was a couple of years ago. I decided I was going to take my folks to Europe. They've never been to Europe, so I took them to Italy.
Hmm.
Um, and you know my parents, so you can only imagine the
Well,
three
those
of
that are
us.
listening, what does that mean?
The three of us we were real adventurous. We landed in Rome. We took the train to Florence. Then we took the train to Venice. Okay, this is adventure. Then we were in Venice. You hear all the terrible things about Venice, but it was actually very nice until we realized that our last day we were going to have to go 3 o'clock in the morning to the, everything's on the water, a water taxi to get to the airport to get home.
At
Well,
3 in the morning?
yeah, well, if and mind you, in Venice, everything's in these little corridors, and you're a foreigner, right? Well, if you know my mother Seal, she was not having this at all. Not at all. So now I said, okay, no worries. I'm gonna take care of this, right? I got us into this. I will get us out of this. So the three of us with all our bags get on a water taxi and we go to this hotel that is literally 5 minutes away from the airport. I mean, we should have had like a movie crew following us because can you imagine the three of us? And it was late because, of course, we had to eat dinner. Last night in Venice, we needed to get our fill. So it probably was like 10 o'clock at night.
Hi, Maxine.
Here we are on this ferry.
No, a water taxi. Aren't they kind of
In Venice.
small?
They're small. I don't know. Looking back, yeah, mom and dad, you were really adventurous.
How many? And you each had a big bag, I'm assuming.
You know us, so can you imagine? And it was cold. It was in November. We were bundled up. It was an adventure. But we
So that
got
was
home. Obviously, we got back and we made it to that hotel. Yeah.
And then
fun.
so did you just walk to the airport in the morning or take
No, they had a nice shuttle to take us to the. Yeah.
You're such a good daughter to get it handled.
I would have never
So
heard
you
the
would
end
call
of
that
it.
you would call that like a worst vacation experience?
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But only
Well,
at the end.
listen,
The
I
whole
have one
trip itself.
similar.
The whole trip
The whole
itself was
airport
fabulous.
situation similar, but definitely not in Venice. So one of my times in New York, as I not like a foreigner, but like I'm not like fluent in New York City, okay? And let me tell you how many times we got on the train and we were going the wrong direction, okay? And then I didn't know certain lines, or is that what they're called? Don't go at certain time after like certain like is it 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
Yes.
So we had a flight in
what are like the two?
Wait, what are the two
LaGuardia
main
Airport, LaGuardia and Kennedy.
Okay, so this would be LaGuardia, okay? So when we got to New York, we took a taxi from LaGuardia into Manhattan, okay?
Right.
And I was like on my phone checking the address as he's driving because I like heard like taxi drivers will go like longer ways or like, and I mean, there's already traffic. So that was like a hefty fee, the taxi ride. So we were like planning our trip and it was a long time in New York. It was like a week in the city. And like a week is like, I mean, now and depending on who you're with, it could be a lot of fun. A week could be like no time at all. But like just being in Manhattan for a week with one person who wasn't the most exciting, it was kind of like we were ready to go. So it was nighttime and our flight was the next morning early and we were like, let's just leave tonight and like figure out how to get there.
Oh God.
Like our flight was early. Like I don't know what is considered a red eye.
Meanwhile, you were like heavy rain. Oh, I forgot that. It was heavy rain when we left Venice. That's right.
No, that adds to making it worse. I get that.
See?
But I don't know what considered a red eye, but it was early, okay? So we leave Manhattan. I'll never forget this. It was like late, okay? When does the train stop running? That's every direction, like 10?
Yes. No, okay, later than that.
11?
No, it depends on the line, like you said.
So anyways, it was late. And we're taking our suitcase. I'm not one of those people that likes to like walk like Orlando. You see people with suitcases. That would never be me. So we're going through the city of Manhattan with our suitcases down into the dark subway. with the rats that are this big.
Yes.
And we get on the train and I'm like, and you have no cell service, okay? So before we go down, we're like, okay, we're going this direction. We get on and we're definitely going the wrong way. Oh, yes, we probably passed there. So we're going the wrong direction. And so we go as far as this thing will take us. We get off, we get up top. Now we're like in some dark area. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we had to get on a bus.
Oh, God. Yeah, because if you think about it, the train stops going to the airport because there aren't flights after a certain
Yeah,
time,
definitely.
especially LaGuardia. They have a short runway. You know how many
Oh.
times I was flying back into LaGuardia and I had to be sent over to Kennedy because it was a certain time? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no. So anyways, we got on this bus and then we walked to the airport and then we're walking in the airport. There's no like it's like you said, it looks like it's closed, okay? But
right.
there
It
were people
was.
inside, but because it was like so early, you couldn't like check in. So then like there was like it almost reminded me of like a cafeteria area and there were just people like sleeping, laying around. So we kind of like I think we like laid around for like 2 or 3 hours and then got on our flight. But that was that reminded me of your story,
Yeah.
taxiing through Venice.
Well, no,
But
we had a hotel room. I wasn't hanging out at the airport.
you've never had like a delay and had to stay at the airport?
um, Overnight, no.
No, this wasn't overnight. Like you just said, they
No,
stopped
I
running late.
know. I
So let's say
know.
we left at 2. Like the reason I can't remember how late is because in New York, 3 in the morning, Manhattan still is full of people. So
Right,
that's
true.
why I can't remember how late it was. But we weren't there that long. You know what I'm saying? So max it would have been like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, I couldn't see hanging out at LaGuardia Airport 4 or 5 hours.
You've never gone to have a flight and they have a like a delay and you have to be there?
Yes, but not at overnight, like 3 o'clock in the morning.
What's the
No.
longest layover you've ever or delay you've ever had?
Oh, I had some doozies in my day
Give
because
them
I
to
used
me.
to travel for work. Well, my first trip with my husband, we were going to Las Vegas and we missed the flight. So we were there probably 5 hours. We
In the
really got to
airport?
know each other. Yeah, we really got to know each other. And you know what? It was okay. Like part of the Cindy that I am would have been like, but I wasn't. I was pretty calm. I said, okay, we'll get there when we get there,
So
right?
why did you miss the flight?
Well, I guess it was maybe Spirit or Frontier. And of course, I had luggage and we missed the cutoff for the luggage. And I wasn't going without my luggage to Las Vegas. So that wasn't happening. But you know what? We got on the flight and we had a wonderful time. So
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
I had a layover because of not a layover. I don't know why I keep calling them layovers. A delay due to fog recently, and that was a long delay.
Mm, yeah,
Let's think what else.
that could always be a problem.
And
And
that's
what
another
about
thing. When you're traveling with a baby, is like you try to plan everything so perfectly. And like when these airlines like have these delays, or sometimes it's for reasons like that are not like fog, I get that. They don't want to drive. They don't want to fly in unsafe. I respect that. But
right?
when it's like the planes like they don't even tell you why and then you're sitting in the airport for an extra hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Like it's so hard and
Yeah,
it's just like miserable. So
it
I
is.
definitely feel like I get an extra notch of patience every time I travel.
Right.
My patience.
My favorite is you wait, you're delayed. Then you get on the plane and all of a sudden you see the engineer guy walk in. You know it's a problem. And then all of a sudden walks out, walks back in. Pilot gets up, they have a little conference. And then all of a sudden the pilot gets on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little bit of a malfunction. They need to refill my wiper blade fluid. So it's going to be about 2.5 hours. Please get comfortable, and we'll be delivering some free napkins.
Yeah. I was once on the tarmac going to Las Vegas, but for work years ago. I think I was on for 5 hours. No, that's if that's not the worst of it, the woman next to me, and then her husband next to her was a smoker. I thought the man was going to tear his hair out of his head. I felt so bad. It was awful. I
Was
felt
it
so bad.
Johnson?
He was like, he was like going crazy. I said, let me get up.
Start
Maybe he needs
scratching.
to walk around a little. The
Oh, you
man
were
was
on the
losing.
outside?
Yes, he was in the window. She was in the middle. He was just completely losing his you know what. Yeah. I mean, so you think about all these scenarios.
5 hours? I feel like that is
Five
way too.
hours. Yes, 5 hours. I remember that. We were just sitting there. Sitting there. I think it
Have
was
you had any?
JetBlue.
Oh,
JetBlue. Yeah.
have you had any scary experiences while flying? I'll
Yeah.
go first. One time I was flying. Where are we go? We must have been close to New York, maybe New Jersey or something like that. No, I think I was leaving Ohio with my grandma, and they must have went like east to like New York area and then down south to Florida, like down the coast. And
Oh.
as we're going, the plane, first of all, we had a delay due to like an engine problem. We get on the plane, on the tarmac, and then we have to wait again. And all of us in the plane, I'll never forget this. We were like, why don't they just put us on another plane? Like, at this point, we've already waited hours. Like, just get us a new plane. Oh, no, we're going to get going. So we get up in the air. I'll never forget this. And the plane starts doing one of these. Like, literally, we're like turning. And I was little. I was like, I want my mom. And my grandma was like, I want my mom too. Like, it was so terrifying. And they immediately brought us back down and we got on another plane. But it was like such a
Mm.
scary. But even today, when I was going through, like, the turbulence doesn't really bother me. I'm kind of one of those freaky people that like that, like, ooh, like that feeling when you like, but it happened like a couple of times. And then like when it was shaking really bad, like I thought from the pressure change, I thought the things were gonna come down. Like it was like people like the what are they called? Passengers, like 3 times all like screamed, and Sebastian's like, "What's happening?" And the lady next to me was like, "Hold him tight."
Oh,
Yeah, it was intense. The weather was intense.
that's scary. That's scary.
I know.
I've never been on a flight where the things drop down. Never.
No.
But I've been on plenty of flights where the pilot gets on and says, flight attendants, please take your seats. You know you're in trouble at that point. You know. You know there's a problem.
Did you discuss our honeymoon with parents and 50 of our closest friends? I'm going to assume that's Mr. Mitch. And yes, Mitch, you might
Yeah.
have tuned in late, but we
Yeah.
definitely discussed that. That was one of her favorite trips, she said.
Yes, it was. It was a great trip. It was. He's so funny. Yeah.
Would you go back to Israel?
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. Yeah, for sure. A lot of
Where's your
history.
favorite place in the fifth, like the continental US to travel?
Oh, I don't know. I do like Arizona. Sedona is very beautiful. That area. It's very pretty. Very
Hmm.
pretty.
So next, if you had to pick one place next to visit in the continental.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really
thanks.
pretty.
Shout out to Getty Images for these great pictures.
No, but it is pretty. It really is. I did like
I'm
it.
going out to Wyoming in a couple
Oh,
months, so I'll have to get some pics of my trip
nice.
in the Yellowstone.
Oh,
So if
yeah,
you had
for
to pick
sure.
one place in the next continental to
Nice.
go visit, oh, Jackson,
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah, there you go.
Shout out Getty.
Yeah, definitely.
So Cindy, go ahead.
The I don't know.
Continental U.S. If you had to pick a place.
Continental, I don't know. I think Arizona. I do like Arizona.
Have you
Maybe
ever been to
Napa.
Idaho?
No, I've never been to Idaho.
Have you ever
Maybe
been to Indiana?
maybe Napa Valley for some wine tasting.
You're
I'd like to
so
do that again.
because you drink so much wine.
Yeah, well, not really, but
Have you ever been to
it's
Indiana?
no,
Have you ever been
no,
to Louisiana?
nope, nope.
Have look at all these places you haven't been. Why are you going to go to places you've never been to Napa Valley?
Because I've been to Napa,
So
sure.
then you need to go to a place you haven't. This is what you should do. You and your husband should on popsicle sticks write all the places in the United States you haven't been. And then
Good
draw
idea.
one out and then do like weekend trips,
Yeah, that sounds fun.
right? I
Yeah,
think I
that
may
could
have some
be.
extra popsicle sticks.
Oh, good. I
Have you
mean,
ever been to South Dakota?
no.
North Dakota?
I think North Dakota is the Mount Rushmore. I
You been
think.
there?
No, I'd love to see that though.
Have you been to Washington State?
No. Oh, when I went to Alaska, I think I was. Yeah, Seattle. Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ohio?
Never been to Ohio.
You've never been to Ohio?
No. What am I
Maine?
missing?
Have you been to Maine?
Maine. Yes, I've been to Maine. Tell me, what am I missing by not ever going to Ohio?
Hey, I
Please
have family that lives in Ohio.
enlighten me. Tell me.
It's you
I
never
have never
know.
even been here. Chicago. That's
Listen,
where
I
I'd
know
like to go.
I want to go to Chicago too, for real. Let's
Chicago,
see. Cindy, your
Chicago.
face is priceless. Aww.
She means from my expressions, I'm
No, your
sure.
face is beautiful. Yeah, this is called No Makeup Monday for me. And
Well,
this
you were
lady who
running
likes to
around. You were running around. But I
look at my
must admit,
hair.
I was
You can't see
circling
because
the
I'm wearing
airport.
black. Oh yeah, for those that we didn't mention, Cindy picked me and Sebastian. This is why we're so great. How many times did you
Ooh.
circle?
So I started out in the cell phone waiting room. Waiting room. That's what it felt like. And then I kept wondering because you said you were going to land at 427, and I said, "All right, let me start." And between Frontier and Spirit, I was so confused. I ended up going by Frontier.
Hey Judy.
Hi. I ended up going to Frontier, I want you to know, at Terminal A. And then I said, I better get going here because you might be calling me soon. So I realized Spirit was in Terminal B. So I was going around Terminal B at least 10 times. And then finally you're like, I'm in the tram. Oh, but then you had another problem. You couldn't get out of the plane.
Yes. When we went to get in, there was a plane in our parking spot. Don't you love when
Yeah,
someone just zips on into your parking spot? So we had to
right.
wait for them to load, to board that whole plane, and we're just sitting there. Luckily, my son, he I should show that video so people could see real life.
Oh,
It's okay. It's real life. Anyways, they wouldn't let us off the plane, but luckily he fell asleep during that time and
right.
it was better. But I
He was
appreciate
fine.
you coming to get me.
He was fine when I saw him. He was doing good. Just
We
give
have
him a
to
ball.
so
Give him,
Ohio, you were asking me what that you're missing from Ohio. I
yeah.
feel like if anybody in the comments have ever been to Ohio, we should inform Cindy what she's missing. But I feel like, there's things you can do in Ohio.
Okay.
You could go to a basketball game. Isn't, you know,
Who plays there?
really?
Ohio State.
Anyways, this is what I want to show you.
The kid was losing his, you know what?
That's like the guy you said that was jonesing for a cigarette. Let me
Yeah.
explain to you what was happening in that picture. This
Oh,
kid, and now he's like potty training. He wanted boop, boop, and he's holding on.
oh,
And
oh.
mother,
He's so smart. He's so smart.
a
Yeah.
lot of kids are smart. Judy, I don't know if you just popped on, but I showed some pictures. Let's see. Miss you already. You look great. What a day. Yes, what a day. George said lot. He may have meant LOL.
Oh,
Oh. Have you ever had Scrapple?
oh no. What's Scrapple? Is that an Amish drink? Oh
I
no.
totally forgot about that. You've never had Scrapple? Okay, let's look it up. You entertain while I look up what Scrapple is. It's not a drink. I'm sure
It's
she'll
not a
write what it is.
drink?
No,
Oh,
Scrapple. Okay, Scrapple. Also known by the Pennsylvanian Dutch. I can't say that word.
my
But
stomach's making
it's
noises. Just
traditionally a mush of pork scraps and trimmings combined with cornmeal and wheat flour, often buckwheat flour and spices. The mush is formed into a semi-solid congealed loaf, and slices of scrapple are then pan fried.
you gave that to your child. Oh,
Yes, they were photos from the
oh,
weekend.
you gave that to your child.
Well, as Judy may mention, see, Cindy thinks I shouldn't have given the people in Pennsylvania love Scrapple. Okay, so it's rude to go to people's homes and make the face that you have on your face right now.
Listen, I've been to the Pennsylvania Dutch country quite often, and I never had any Scrapple. And
Listen,
Sebastian loves it. Oh no.
listen, I'm gonna make you some Scrapple. I
Oh
didn't
no.
try any.
Please don't.
I won't tell you what
My
it is.
stomach is growling just talking about it. We may
You
have to
know,
end this quickly.
can I tell them the funniest part of the story when you picked us up and we went to your house?
No, I think you can leave that out.
No, that's the best part. Oh, George, you've never had
Yeah.
Scrapple.
Listen, well, I'll tell you one thing that we used to hear about, but I never even tried it. Shoe fly pie. That was a big thing. And
What's shoe fly
yeah,
pie?
it's like molasses and some other stuff.
Have you ever had? It's a Philly thing.
Oh, it's a Philly thing. So it's not an
We
Amish
read. Well, I read the thing. It said that you know
thing.
who knows. They have a whole thing about who has the better Scrapple and all this kinds of stuff. They fry Scrapple on snatches.
Oh, all right.
Have you ever have you ever had any canned meat except tuna?
No, and that's fish.
Wait, have you ever had like corned beef?
Only at a deli, usually Ben's, not anywhere else.
You've never had
Oh,
canned
this
meat?
this is turning. This is not. Am I turning
Wait,
green? Am I turning green? Because this is not going in a good direction.
wait, your dad's on here. He should comment if you've ever had
He
canned.
has
Maybe
never had canned meat.
have you ever had potted meat? It comes in a
What do you mean?
can. Looks
Oh,
like
no.
this.
Absolutely not.
What about
Oh,
there's a lot of meat you can get canned.
ew. I like fresh. Fresh.
Vienna sausage?
No.
I don't eat canned meat.
Ew.
Like what about premium ham?
No.
The only canned meat that I eat is corned beef hash.
Ugh.
What do you mean? Ugh. Corned beef hash is good.
Ooh,
Tuna comes in a can. You don't eat tuna fresh.
I know.
He eats your mother's meatballs. He can take anything. That
Oh,
is
they're
George.
delicious. They
George,
are
her meatballs are
delicious.
delicious.
They're
That is
delicious.
ridiculous. Well, now I feel I'm getting kind of hungry over here. I'm gonna have to go make me some
Oh,
corned beef. I'm gonna make you corned beef one time. Do you
no, please
like?
don't. Please don't.
We'll have to report back to the Skinergy squad
All
and let
right.
them know how you like it.
Okay.
I know somebody. I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about canned meat, and he would take canned meat and put it on like a cracker with the cheese that comes in a can. I think
Oh,
we should have like a cooking time when you get to
oh
try a
yeah.
bunch of stuff.
I should have done that this morning. I should have had a whole film crew with me. I was really going there.
What'd you cook?
Woo! I was whipping it all out. Ah, they had, see, Famous
Oh, have you
Deli.
ever been to Famous Deli? And I was wondering if you ever been there.
No, no.
Oh my gosh. So if we ever go to Philly, I'm gonna take you there. Not that I've ever
No,
been there.
but I went
Famous
to the
Deli, they
second.
have deli sandwiches
Yes.
that are this
We've been
big.
there. I've been there. I thought it was
I
the
just
Second
asked you if you've
Avenue
ever
Deli.
been there.
I thought it was the Second Avenue Deli with the
I
matzo
think it's
ball this
called
big.
I
The
think it's
matzo
called the
ball was this
Famous
big.
Deli.
I think it
And
was
you
the
get a
size of my
cookie when you're
head.
done eating
Yeah, probably a black and white cookie, right?
that are like this big.
Yeah, everything is
What's your
extra large
favorite
there.
cookie?
My favorite cookie, well, it depends where.
Just overall.
I like a jelly filled. I like a macadamia nut, chicken cutlets.
So good,
Uh,
yes. 4th Street
Fourth
famous.
Street, Famous Deli. Yes, Fourth Street. That
I didn't
place
get
is
to go there, but they went there after they took us to the airport. But
wow.
your favorite cookie, you like a jelly filled cookie?
Yes, you know the ones at
More than an
Panavino.
oatmeal raisin?
Yes, definitely the ones at Panavino. My favorite.
Hmm, interesting. We went to a cupcake place
Ooh,
in Lancaster and
yeah.
I think it was called like Lancaster cupcakes or something, and we got
Ooh,
a big variety of them, like a dozen, and we cut them into like eighths and tried. It was almost like we got
oh,
married and had like
right.
I had a lemon raspberry one. It was
Oh,
divine.
nice.
Fourth, oh, George has been there. 4th Street.
Oh yeah, he knows.
Yeah, that's what they had for dinner tonight. But yeah,
Nice.
traveling is a lot of fun. I didn't get nobody commented about places that they've been,
Yeah,
that they dream vacations
their
that they've been
dream
on or want to go
vacay.
on.
Yeah.
But oh, we didn't touch on baseball. Well, our people that are watching comment because we want to know their dream vacation
Dream
or
vacay. Dream
places they want to
vacay.
go or they've already been. But
Maybe
what's
it's
going on?
Palm Springs. Maybe it's Phoenix. Maybe it's Sedona. It's beautiful. Maybe it's just a beautiful scenery like this.
Getty didn't tell us where that one was.
Or maybe it's Vermont.
Have you been to Vermont?
Yes, of course. But you know what I was thinking as I was getting these pictures together? Viva Las Vegas. Finger Lakes, hey, I'll be there this summer. Believe it or not, upstate New York has some of the nicest, beautiful scenery and wineries. Wyoming, you'll be going there. Aspen's always a nice place. Chicago, I'm going to get there as soon as baseball starts again. I'm going to get there because I want to go see Chicago play.
Can we make it a Skinergy trip?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Judy says that their black and white cookies are the size of a dinner plate. Oh my gosh, remember that time? Was it a cannoli or a black and white cookie that me and George shared?
Probably a cannoli.
Oh yeah, remember I took a bite out of the cannoli and he ate the rest. Traveling the USA in the trailer.
Yes, that's a good idea. An RV. Yeah.
Maybe Cindy, when Mitch retires, you and Mitch should get an RV.
Mitch
And of
doesn't like
course,
to drive. Mitch doesn't
well,
like to
George
drive.
can go.
Yeah.
You have the folks come and George can drive the RV and you
Yeah.
guys can just
Mitch.
try.
Yeah. When Mitch drives, it's came to the point where my father's like, ah, ah, ah. So now, oh, Monterey.
Oh,
That's
Monterey.
beautiful. California. Yeah.
That's his dream that he's
No,
been?
he's
Or
been there. He's been all over. He's been around.
So that's his dream vacation when he
No,
went to
but he
Montana.
likes it there. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Do you know who was once? Oh, Glacier National Park, Montana. Another beautiful place. Absolutely. Yes.
What were you gonna say?
Monterey, you know who used to actually be the mayor? Was it Monterey? I believe so. Clint Eastwood. He lives there,
Oh,
and he was the mayor of the little town there. It's beautiful there. Yeah.
nice. You know,
Pebble
another place
Beach.
that's beautiful is Lake Tahoe.
Oh, I've never been. Wish I'd like to go
There's a
there.
lot of places.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you and Mitch need to do the idea with the
Mitch has been
popsicle sticks.
there. Mitch has been there quite often, but I haven't.
Oh, Judy said you
Caravan.
guys can caravan. The Grossman / Goldman caravan and
Is that like
Wales.
camping? Is that like camping?
Yes, you're in an
Oh.
RV. You guys
Oh,
would
okay.
definitely have a fifth wheel, which is like the bus kind, like the tour people have.
Oh, cool.
You
We
wouldn't
could.
even know. The things pop out. You have a living room. You guys
Wow.
can go sit by
That's
the
nice.
lake, go walking. I think Mitch and you would like it. You can wake up in the morning and bike ride.
Yeah. Where would the bikes go?
You put them in or
Can we
on
take the
the camper.
Pelotons? Mitch needs his Peloton. Can't live without it.
Mitch can live without it. Caramel.
Carmel.
Oh,
That's where he was the mayor. Yeah. It's beautiful there. Really beautiful.
well, we've gotten some comments, so that makes me happy. Big
Beautiful.
Sur, California.
Yeah, really pretty places. Because you have to figure if this continues in Europe, we'll need to be staying in the USA. And we have such beautiful places, so I agree.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Well, I have family over in Europe, so I hope that we can travel in Europe.
Right.
So
Sounds
definitely.
good.
But we appreciate everyone, as always, tuning in to our show. We're already waving. I think we should, grace the people one more time with this great clip.
Those wiggles.
Anyways,
Love the
before
wiggles.
we get banned for playing the Wiggles. But yes, we appreciate you guys always watching. Glamping, yeah, Judy said glamping.
Okay.
And thanks for the 5-minute delay. Off the runway, straight to the podcast. We love chatting with you guys on Monday evenings. And if any of you, like we always say, please let us know that you like our show, like and subscribe. Stay notified, like us on Facebook. And if you are local to the area, feel free to always come stop by at our studio, make an appointment. Got a busy week. Cindy, you got lots planned this week?
A couple of networking events.
Nice, definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you, Judy, for popping on. Thank you, George, as always. Oh, she got to see the video. Yeah, I posted some photos. You missed them. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mitch, for the support as always. Cindy, it's my pleasure. Thanks for being a great friend. And you want to say anything else?
No, just thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great week.
Yes, have a great week.